Hey, what up? It's New Age Ja and welcome. Hold on, I want to make sure that you guys can see me. Okay, cool. So let's talk about this Scorpio new moon. I'm not here to look cute, although I'd love to, but this is my second time recording this and I'm a little frustrated, but I think it's just because the message is not supposed to get out to you, but I'm going to give it to you anyways. So we have a 12-degree Scorpio new moon in exact opposition to Uranus and Taurus, 12 degrees. Uranus and Taurus is still in retrograde, so we will not see the full effects of this until Uranus is in full movement forward, because it's an unfair game, as you can see, as the people need to be able to be put up to date or kept up to date in order to combat and or respond with what's happening beneath the surface. Now, today is November 4th, 2021. The new moon is exact at about 4:38 Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so what does Scorpio represent? What does the eighth house represent? Well, the eighth house is everything unexpected: crisis, transformation, regeneration, psychological depths, portals of transformation, as you'll see more of the end of life happening in the fourth house of Cancer, as Cancer is the beginning of life and the end of life, or this fourth house axis is, right? It's about, so also eighth house or Scorpio is fertility, and sometimes it could be sterility, like you could be sterile with Scorpio, but Scorpio rules conception. It's like your amniotic fluid, it's fixed fluid, fixed water. Scorpio is fixed water, so lakes, ponds, still water puddles, um anything that could harbor life, but also that could be quite disgusting, in the sense slimy. Now the eighth house is the underworld, so to speak, where we find demons, daemons, mediums, psychics, clairvoyants, all occult masters, um dimensional hoppers. This is basically all the spirits and or energies that are from external realms of a more darker, pure nature, as Pisces represents the more benevolent energies, the more benevolent ancestors. But although Pisces has its very tricky ways, as Neptune can pull the wool over one's eyes in more ways than one, but that we're not there. So, but we do have the Trinity here. So they all kind of, they all play with one another. So Scorpio is our genitals, excretion, sewerage, plumbing, crude oils, wealth, deep wealth, wealth that you are accumulated through ancestry, not windfalls, but inheritances. Okay, eighth house is inheritances. Bonds, stocks, savings bonds, diamonds. Okay, anything found beneath the surface that is of great value. Okay, Scorpio is also the eighth house of joint finances, or the eighth house is the house of joint finances, where we learn intimacy, connection, not only in bond, friendship, relationship, in a more communicative, political, diplomatic, fair, contractual manner, but in one that gets dark, dirty, the one where we get to learn each other's sexual taboos, where we get to know each other's kinks in the bedroom, right? But this is also where we get to understand what kind of value do you possess? What do you really think about yourself? How do you really feel deeply under there? what type of psychology has manifested beneath the surface. And with the other, within intimacy, we get to know each other's demons. We get to know each other's darkness. We get to know each other's lusts and wants and the things that we can't really show on our backs, on our shoulders, on a day-to-day scale. You know, this is Pluto and Venus here, and Pluto likes to hide. It likes to be unseen, which is why a lot of people have some intimacy issues, because they know once they become intimate, they can't hide what's in the closet anymore. So joint finances, joint resources, big money, big banks, loans. Okay, maybe Taurus wants a house, to buy a house, or wants a nice car. Taurus wants some jewelry, wants a diamond bracelet, and so wants to buy it on credit or go get from the bank, right? Because Taurus is my money. Scorpio is our money or their money. Okay. So the moon represents the people, and the sun is vitality. And so the sun is eclipsing the moon. So the moon, the sun, you can say, is power. Those who are in power, those who are in authority, authority figures. It's a blinding light. You know, it's the biggest planet or biggest star, and so it's over the moon. Okay, it's hiding the moon. It's not shining on the moon. Okay, the moon is dark. The moon has been burnt out by the people. I'm sorry. So on new moons, we don't know really what's going on, as we're being overshadowed by the sun. And so the moon, the people are put in a shadow position, and it's time to rest. Because this is where the divine universe, the life, vitality, and source begins to plant seeds into the lunar body, into the subconscious mind, into the unseen. And Scorpio, deep down beneath, secret dungeons, secret places of meeting. This is where we meet in secret. This is where we do shady things. But this is also where we transform and we awaken our kundalini, and we awaken our sexual energy, and we awaken our sexual beings and identity, as Taurus is the physical manifestation of the identity of Aries. So, long story short, if we can get to the point, there is this is our money. Taurus is our money. Our money and the way that we do money is being completely revolutionized with Uranus there. Bitcoin, different, like we have Venmo, we have Cash App, we have all of like these, like we have e-transfer, we have all PayPal, we have so many different ways to transfer money, to convert money. As you know, Scorpio rules transformations like plastic surgery, where we take what we don't like and we put kind of unnatural things to make it what we like. Because to me, Uranus has a very 8th house scorpionic energy to it, because it takes unnatural things and it makes it new and revolutionized and pieces things together. In Scorpio, I mean, in Taurus is the body, and Uranus there is doing all kinds of unnatural, new agey things to the physical body, as well as we do money and resources and how we feed ourselves and where our food's coming from. And behind the scenes, big banks are trying to figure out how they can, IRS is trying to pass bills that allow them to infiltrate big banking systems, where banks have to report to the IRS or allow the IRS access to our bank accounts. This is what's happening behind the scenes, and this is something that is going on in the news, right? So new plans, new seeds are being proposed as to how the IRS, the governmental structure, can gain access to our personal money and personal funds. And within opposition, we have a power struggle here. The people, being in the sign of Scorpio, but basically in the banking lobby or the IRS station, the people, they are taking the people to them and taking a look at their assets. What can we do to control the digitalization of money? Money is now becoming a currency that we are losing control of. This is the square that we got going on with Saturn and Uranus, but also this Pluto in Capricorn. We're losing power or control over how fast and how quickly money is changing, how people are hiding money, changing money, because Scorpio is about hiding and this is our money. So they're trying to figure out how to extract. Because with Uranus being such a surprising, electrical, like out of nowhere energy that flips shit upside down, with an opposition to the new moon, I see this as like a switcheroo. So how is it that we gain more control of the other's money? How is it that we can change things? And now, because Mercury has still has come out of shadow and is still in Libra, we're still implementing ideas of how to finagle our way in. Now, the new moon only has one, prevalent aspect, and it is the opposition to Uranus, which allows secret plans that will eventually come to light to be instilled and or planted unseen by the public, are not understood, our motives not being understood. And these are just the very beginnings of the seeds that are being planted. This is a 5-month to 6-month cycle. We will see the head of this, or the jump of this, come May 16, 2022, when there's a Scorpio full moon. But this Scorpio full moon energy actually starts in April 2022, when there is a full moon, at 27 degrees Libra. But the full moon carries in over into Scorpio and does have a full moon signature throughout. I believe a Scorpio full moon signature mostly. So we will begin to see the governmental structures will propose to us somewhere in April how it is that they plan on infiltrating our finances, and they will propose a new plan. Okay, so because now we have Mercury with Uranus in the North Node, we're able to communicate what our plans are, as Mercury is a planner in regards to the future North Node of how we manage money and this more traditional or untraditional, unconventional sense, Bitcoin, PayPal, stocks, bonds, investments. How can we control your investments? How are we taxing your investments? How do we get a hold of it? How can we reveal? How can we dissipate? There's a trine here with Neptune, Venus, which is our finances, and Jupiter is just making everything. How do we dissipate the boundaries, right? Because there's a boundary here with this opposition, and gain access through this Neptune trine and sextile to Uranus to the people's finances. Here's the people. And so this is going to be a proposal, and the people may be more so less reluctant to struggle because there's such good energy. Look at how Mars is in Pisces. It's like way simmered down. It's not like how it was in Scorpio, where they meant business and they were not they weren't being nice about it. Trust me, they didn't have anyone's good intentions when they were planning this and plotting this, and when the seeds were implemented today on this new moon moving forward. April 17th, the moon also is the Earth's messenger. She rules the radio waves and frequencies, and she's always bouncing back our own light from the sun onto the earth, constantly illuminating and communicating with us. On a dark moon like today, there's no true communication going on, as everything is blanketed and it's all happening behind the scenes, like Pentagon and governmental structures, like deep down within, where it just can't, the access, the information is top secret. So they will begin to deliver this information to us around the Libra full moon into Scorpio, April 17th, where we may be more gullible to what is going on. But what I see, no, there's a square here. So the people do have somewhat of a suspicion, as we will be able to see behind it. But the majority will be like pacified, like so May 16th, we have a T-square with the Scorpio full moon, which is the culmination of what is seeded on November 4th, 2021. We have a T-square. So we have a Taurus, North Node, Uranus opposition with a full moon in Scorpio and a T square to Saturn in Aquarius. The tip of the T square is where all of this energy needs to be manifested, and it looks like Saturn will be in control. Although the governmental structures or the banking systems, IRS, etc., what they're going to do is they're going to try their best to get a hold and control of money and wealth once again. But because Saturn and Aquarius is in the mix, the people will be humbled as well as the governmental structures, but the rights and the betterment of the people, because Saturn rules class workers, it rules slaves, it rules like farm workers, again, like prostitute, slavery, also hierarchical structure. Saturn does have the tendency to reward as well over time if you do the work and climb like the corporate ladder or the social ladder, so to speak. But it ultimately fares for the people, and it doesn't do it in a very nice way. It's a very hard, tough love kind of energy. And so just when we thought the power was in our hands, or just when they thought the power was in their hands, we come to find out that the wizard and Chronos of time is actually the manifester of time and what will be ultimately. So there's a power struggle here and the need to release pressure, where Saturn will ultimately have the last and final say. So I hope this makes sense to you. Like I said, I did this recording already, and it was probably much more clear and in detail than this one. But as you know, when your work just goes away, you get a little bit disgruntled and maybe a little disheveled. So I'm still kind of dealing with those emotions as well. So I hope this serves you well, and I hope this is clear to you. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon. Later.